Good morning. Uh, Today we're going to focus on a theme, when things fall apart or as things fall apart. And I'm actually thinking of calling my yoga as things fall apart, because part of it is about aging, but part of it also is we live in a moment in time when it does feel like it, and things are falling apart. It's pretty clear. Anyway, so I'm going to read from Pema Chodron, who's written really quite a powerful book called When Things Fall Apart, Heart Advice for Difficult Times. Things falling apart is a kind of testing and also a kind of healing. We think that the point is to pass the test or to overcome the problem. But the truth is that things don't really get solved. They come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and fall again apart. It's just like that. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, for joy. And on that happy note, we're going to focus today on forward bends. So if you'll come to your mat, and you can just stand for a moment, and we're just going to raise our arms up above our heads, and we can clasp our hands like this with our fingers interlaced, and then lift up. And we're just going to stretch to the right and stretch to the left. Stretch to the right and stretch to the left. There we go. And now we can open our arms out. We'll press into the heels of our hands and really feel the energy moving out the heels of your hands with your fingers pulled back. And now we're going to reverse our fingers and point down and press it into the wrist of our hands and up, pressing into the heel of our hands, heel, and then pressing into our wrist with our fingers pointing down. And then we're going to just expressively fleck our fingers. Fleck our fingers, that's really good. And we can lift our hands up and flex our fingers. And saying flex your fingers is difficult. Basically, you want to say bad words when you say flex your fingers. Okay. And then just shake that out. Good. Alrighty. And if you'll come down onto your hands and knees, we'll just do a few cat and cow just to get our spine moving with our, you can just stick your bum up in the air and then arch, and then inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. And this one, we're going to just lift our right arm up above our head, and we're going to weave that, thread it through the other arm, and put our shoulder on the ground. And we're just going to turn our head, shoulder on the ground, or as close to the ground as you can get. And you can just rest here for a moment, and we'll just allow our spine to curve a little, to twist a little as we begin our day. Or we might do this nearer the end of the day if we're looking at the recording. And now we're going to just lift up again and thread through. And we're going to keep this as a movement now. And lift it up and then thread through. Lift it up and thread through. Up and thread through. Okay. And now we're going to, if I'm inviting you to lift up your left arm and thread it through. 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 And this time we're just going to rest with our shoulder on the ground. Our palm can be facing up, and we'll use the right hand just to stabilize us in this twisted position. And we're just breathing easily here. Good. And now we're going to be up here. We're going to do a little bird dogging here. So we'll lift our right arm up and our left leg behind us, suspending it behind us. And we can press our the shin of our right leg into the floor and our left hand into the floor. So we're balancing here with half of our body lifted up and the other half on the ground, and we're inhaling and exhaling, and our head should be just facing we should be facing the floor. Okay, and we can really push out through our heel. And now we're going to lower down, and we're going to use the other leg. So the opposite arm and leg. And we're inhaling and exhaling here. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to put our hands down. And we'll come back into child's pose for just a moment here. Okay, we're going to extend our arms out and move into a downward dog. We can pedal out our feet to stretch out our hamstrings a little. We can stand on our tippy toes of our feet and just feel and bend our knees. This allows us to really stretch our toes out a little and get our feet ready for some of the standing postures we're going to do later. Give us a lot of enlivening energy in our feet. And we can press our heels toward the ground. There's no necessity of bringing your heels to the ground, and you can certainly have your knees bent if it's more comfortable for you. We're pressing into our hands, and we're just resting here for a moment, feeling the lovely opportunity to breathe, inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. And we're going to lift the right leg up and bring it between our hands, and then bring the left leg forward and just hang suspended in a forward fold for a moment. Once again, we're allowing our hamstrings to stretch out a bit. You can have your knees bent if it's more comfortable, and your hands can be on blocks if you like. And we're just going to open our arms up and come up with our arms above our head, inhaling, and then exhaling into Tadasana. So I just want us to stand in Tadasana for a moment, hit mountain pose, and it really is one of the key poses in yoga, and feel where our weight is. Are we forward or back? Are our toes, can we spread our toes out on the mat? Can we lift our arches and feel them ignite the inner thigh, and our balance should be on the toe mounds and on the heels. We should be evenly balanced. You can find that happy space just by moving forward and back a bit. All right, we're going to do a few variations on the sun salutation. So arms up, inhale, and exhale. Inhale halfway up, exhale, and then down chaturanga, or however you want to get down into, here we'll try a low cobra here, inhaling, and then back into downward dog, exhaling. I'm going to rest here for a few breaths. And then lift the leg up, bring it between your hands, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands to your side. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, sorry. Exhale. Chaturanga, here we go. There we go. Inhale. And I'm doing an upward dog here. Exhale. And lift the left leg up in between your hands. And forward fold. Exhaling. Inhale all the way up. And hands at your heart chakra and down. Okay, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Right leg back, left leg back into plank. And we're just going to stay in plank for a moment. Just allow us to develop a bit of our core. And you just press into your hands. Inhale, exhale. You can press into your heels. Your legs are straight. And you're inhaling your belly. And those jewels of all of your bodily organs should be sliding towards your spine. That's my image. They're just moving up there. And I am feeling the force of this posture. You can come down whenever you like. Now I'm going to come down into Chaturanga. You can go knees, chest, chin. And I'm going to press back and up into an upward dog. And once again, I'm pulling my belly into my spine and pressing into my heels and opening my chest. And then back into downward dog. I'm up on my tippy toes here. And then I'm going to lower down. Exhaling and inhaling, exhaling and inhaling. And this time I'm going to lift my right leg up and bring it forward between my hands. And now my left leg joins it. And I'm going to rest suspended here in a forward fold by hooking my hands and my elbows and letting gravity move my torso down slowly without much effort. But I am really keeping my legs straight, and I am feeling my feet is very active as I stand located in the ground. Now we're just going to come up halfway, inhaling, and then we're going to exhale down. Inhale up, and hands to your side. All right. Now we're going to just step back into quite a wide stance and move our feet so they face the long side of the mat. And we're just going to do a wide-legged forward fold to once again help us warm up our body and extend our muscles extend themselves. So we're just bending over at the hip with our back straight. You can have blocks here to support you, or you can put your hands on the ground. You can wiggle your feet out to where it feels comfortable. And I'm walking my hands back between my feet, if you can do that, with my elbows bent, and just pressing into the ground. This allows you to put a little bit of pressure on your forward movement. And you should move towards the edge of what feels comfortable. You don't want to overstretch anything. And you want to make sure that while you're doing this, you're imagining that the energy is moving up your legs from your feet. That's what you're imagining, that the energy is moving up your legs and you are pressing into the ground.
And we're just going to stay here for a few moments in these hatha yoga poses. It's useful to repeat postures and also to rest in them, to allow the body to open. We give an invitation to the body to take a posture, and then that it allows us to make the move. All right. And now I'm going to stretch my arms out here so that my back is straight, my arms are outstretched, and I'm going to walk towards the right and just hold on to my ankle and use my elbows to opening up my elbows. It helps me stretch down towards my leg. And now I'm going to walk back to the other side. And with the legs straight, I'm going to hold on to the ankles and bend my elbows. This once again allows me to move closer to my leg. Now, we are asymmetrical, and on the left side, it's much harder for me. So I really have to make that energy run up my leg towards my buttocks. And that helps me not overstretch the tendons at the top of the hamstring that's attached to the bones. And now I'm coming back again. And I think I'll bend the right knee and turn the foot out and just gently bend into that. And you can just stretch, bending with that knee bent. It's a really good groin opener. And I just have my hands resting on the ground here. Or you could have them on blocks. And I'm going to turn towards the other side and turn my left foot out, bending my knee, and feeling myself move down. We're almost actually at a lizard here. And stretching once again my groin muscles. And now I'm coming back. And I'm tipping forward with both my feet facing forward. My hips are my hips are raised up, and I'm going to come up with a straight back and bring my feet in and stand once again in Tadasana. We're going to just feel how Tadasana is different at every moment in the class. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And we're going to move into a warrior two. Take a wide position, 3 or 4 feet or whatever, the length of your leg, whatever that is. And we'll turn the right foot out. We're just going to bend the front knee. And I'm going to move my foot out a bit. And so the object here is to feel the upper body moving up, the lower body moving down. The thighs are rotating out, both of them. And we're grounding our feet. We should feel the arch of our back foot lift and of our front foot. We can lift our toes up and press the toe mounds and the heels into the ground. Once again, lifting our arms up. And we can feel ourselves moving down if we have it in us. And now we're going to move towards the right leg, stretching out into a side bend. And we can drop our hand down to our arm down to our thigh. We can have a block behind us here, or we can put our hand on the floor and we'll extend our arm out and really feel the extension between the tip of our left finger and the beautiful outer edge of our back foot. And we're rolling our chest up and over, and our drishti or focal point can look up at our hand or the ceiling and feel that opening of our chest. And make sure that our knee is over top of our lower foot. And we're just breathing here and feeling the luxury of time together. And we're going to drop our hand down and rise up into warrior again. And we'll turn our feet facing the other direction. Inhaling and exhaling, we're going to lower down once again into warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And straighten our back leg. I notice my leg is not straight. And just feel the power of this pose. The tailbone should be moving towards the floor. Our thighs are rotating out. Now we're extending forward, outward, and dropping our hand to our thigh. And I'm just going to let my left arm rest on my thigh. My right arm is on the diagonal, and we're looking up and moving our chest up and around. Our chest around. So when things fall apart, we do yoga. And we try and make the world a better place. But we need to do yoga in order to do that. So now we're going to come up into Virabhadrasana 2 again, warrior 2, and then straighten our legs and move them in. Now we're going to turn towards the right side again and just do Trikonasana. So we're going to wedge our hand into our hip and tilt over towards the side. Our arm will drift down our calf, and wherever it's comfortable. You might be up here, which is fine. And we're going to feel our torso. On each side of our torso, it's straight, it's moving out, and there's a space between our hip and our rib, the lower ribs. And we're just going to hold our hand down there, arm up, and we can look up. Our drishti here is looking up. And I had a beautiful session with one of my senior teachers the other day, and she reminded me that the focus of yoga is Sutra 1.2. Yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. So our focal point or drishti is exactly that practice. And when we're in these poses, we do them so that we can actually do them on our own eventually. And we can feel in our bodies how the posture should be, what it is that challenges us and also makes us feel at ease. The sukha and sira of yoga, the comfort, the easeful comfort and sweetness of it, and also the challenge. And now we're going to lift up and we'll rotate towards the other side, extending our arm down and up into Trikonasana. Breathing in the pose. And now we're going to move our feet so that we're facing the front of the mat in Tadasana. And we're just going to stand here for a moment. We're going to step our left leg back 3 feet, and we're going to move into pyramid pose. So once again, we can tilt forward at our hip and just move so that our back is flat Our head is in line with our back. And now we can fold over as we're feeling the right hip move back, and our legs are straight as we fold over the front leg in pyramid pose. And we just are resting here. You can hold on to your ankles if you like, or put your hands on the ground. Whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable. Once again, the legs are straight. We're inhaling and exhaling. And this is a transition to the revolved triangle, which is quite a demanding pose. So you could have a block, your left hand on the block or on the floor. And we're going to rotate our body with our left hand beside our right foot. And we're rotating our body to the back of the room. And we're lifting our upper arm up and feeling the twisting of our body as we are keeping the focus on the back foot on the ground and the back heel on the ground. And we're just resting here. As things fall apart, the yogis revolve and find resilience. Our right hip is moving back and our legs are straight. We're feeling the power of this pose. And we can come up whenever we like. And I'm just going to rotate up here. Oops. And my legs are going to face the front. And now one leg is going to face the front. My back foot is on the diagonal in. Our hips are facing the front. And we're going to do pyramid to the other side. So this is different from warrior 2 and triangle. Our hips are, in this case, are facing forward. And we're just rotating on our hips down. And once again, our core is moving in. Our belly is moving in towards our spine. And we feel the extension. And when you're ready, you can just round your back and extend over top of your front leg. So in this case, I'm facing the left, and my left hip is rotating around and moving back. And I am keeping my legs straight, and I'm keeping a lot of energy in my back heel and the toe mounds of my foot. And I'm feeling a kind of deep release here. These postures are very powerful. And I'm going to plant my right hand on the ground or on a block here. And I am going to lift up my left arm and rotate towards the back. Shaking is good. Shaking means you're really in the posture. You're really in your body. You're shaking yourself awake this morning. And now I'm going to rotate up, I'm back. And back into Tadasana, feeling our body finding its center and the power of this beautiful, powerful pose. Our head is lifting up. The top part of our torso is lifting up. We can lift our arms up and we can look up, and then we can lower our arms and feel the relaxation there. Okay. So now we're going to go down onto the ground and do some lovely forward poses. I'm just going to go down however I can. And I think right now what I'll do is ask you to sit with your feet together and just If you feel the need, you can use something to support your knees. If you're feeling you have a little more movement in your groin, then you can just let them move to the ground. I'm just holding on to my feet or my ankles, and I'm keeping my back straight, and I'm just letting my legs move into the ground as much as they can. And now I'm going to extend my right leg out. I'm going to keep my left leg here in the groin, and my right leg is extended out, and you can have a belt if you like to hold on to, or you can just rest your hands on your shin and slide your hands down your shin as you move forward in this posture. And your back is as straight as it can be. And now you can just roll over, round your back, and you can hang onto your foot, the top of your foot. If you are a very long-standing yogi, you can grab onto your wrist on the other side of your foot, but that for me is a bridge too far. I think that will be when things really fall apart. I'm actually dismembered somewhere. I'll be able to hold on to my ankle on the other side of my wrist on the other side of my foot. So I'm just holding here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, feeling, we are so much water. Our body is so much water. We can imagine ourselves flowing over our leg here, like a river. And our breath is like waves on a body of water. Our inhalation and exhalation. Every time we inhale, we feel the energy moving through our body. And when we exhale, we feel our body release further down. And we're resting here for a few more moments. You can come up if it's too much for you. Now we're going to come up and we will change legs. And we'll put one foot, our right foot, into our inner left thigh, and maintain an erect posture with that little string tying us to the ceiling. So we really are. We start in this posture, and our foot should be. My foot was going out. Our foot should be the toes should be facing the ceiling, and our knees should be too. I have a bit of wonky knee thing, so I have to make sure my knee is facing the right direction. All right, now we're going to just hinge at the hips here and move forward. If you're holding onto a strap, you can hold onto both sides of the strap, or you can put your legs on your shin and go forward as far as you can with the back as straight as you can. That might not be very far. It's not too far for me. And then at a certain point, you can go forward. You can also put a blanket underneath your hips or your left buttock and move forward. So once again, we're inhaling and exhaling, and I'll leave you in silence for a few moments. And I'm going to use my right hand to clasp the outer edge of my left foot. And this will help bring me down a bit further into the posture. Breathing. Now we're going to come up again. And we'll extend both legs out in staff pose or Danadasana. And we can put our bunions together if we have them. And we can lift we can gently lift the flesh of our buttocks if we like. And once again, you can be sitting on a rolled up towel or a blanket or a block. And we're just going to sit here, or we can tent our hands and allow that to help us lift up. You really feel the axial elongation of our spine here, lifting up. And we're going to now move into Danadasana, and extend ourselves forward. And we can round over our legs again. Now I find Danadasana quite a nourishing pose. It's challenging, even though it looks very simple. Well, this is not Danadasana, this is whatever comes after Danadasana. But I find this a very nourishing pose. And now we're going to come up again and extend our legs out in a V. Turn towards the right leg and slide our hands down. You can use a strap if you want here, but I am going to just move forward and try and rest on that leg if I can, or close to it. Few more breaths. And then we're going to come up, and our feet should be quite active in this pose. So we're going to twist towards the other side, in this case, my left side. My feet are facing, my toes are facing up, and I'm extending out through both heels as I go down. And I'm maintaining both of the buttocks on the ground. So this might mean you can't go very far. So you're always kind of making sure that there's some weight on the back hip and your buttocks on the ground. Extend it out there. And we're coming up now. And we'll come back, we'll put our feet together again and feel this lovely pose as a kind of resting space after those extended leg forward folds. Now we're going to we're going to just go into we can move our left leg so that our shin is lining with the front of the mat. Our foot is, our heel is extended, and we're just going to lift our right leg up. We can just put our hand on our foot and the other hand on the inner part of our calf, and we're going to roll our leg as we place our foot on the ground. We're actually going to hold on to our calf and roll it so that our hand is moving up. And when we place it on this is called fire log pose or something like that. And we can feel this is a very opening pose in our groin and hip. It might be a bit too much for you. You can put blankets underneath here, or you can leave one leg, the bottom leg can be extended out if that's too much. But I am just going to sit here for a moment because I can feel the opening work it's doing. And you can put your hands in prayer position, clasp your fingers and lift them up. top of your head. Breathing, breathing. And now we're going to extend our hands out, and we can lift our leg off of there. We can move back into, we can put the right leg now on the ground with our shin and calf extended along the mat. And we're going to cradle our right foot with one hand, our left foot with one hand, and our calf with the other. And as we place our foot down in this fire log position, we're going to roll the calf around so that it's positioned properly. And we can just sit here again. This time we can extend our arms out. We can drop our right leg, our right arm down, our left arm. We can extend our right arm up, and we're going to clasp our hands behind our back, or crawl our fingers towards each other. I can't clasp my hands this way yet, but I'm working on it. It's a lifelong project. And we're just resting here. And now I want you to extend your arms out, and we'll drop the other arm down, the right arm down, and the left arm up. And we're extending our arms out. We'll clasp our hands once more and extend them up. Inhaling into our chest and exhaling. Inhaling into our chest and then our lower chest, feeling our chest expand into the sides and the back. And then we're going to exhale, blowing out the air. We're going to extend our arms out and drop them down, and extend our legs out in front, and we can shake them out a bit. Okay, so now this time we're just going to do a twist with our, lift our right leg up, put it on the outside of our left thigh. We can leave this leg out, or we can bend it back towards our right hip. And we're going to extend our arm up. We use our right arm to allow us to stretch up. And as we're stretching up, we start moving our torso from the bottom towards the right, and dropping our hand down. We can catch our leg, our knee, and feel the rotation of this beautiful stretch. And we're going to come back again, and we can just give it a little stretch to the other side. And we're going to extend our legs out, and we're going to do it the opposite way. So we're going to lift our right leg up, our right knee up, bend our knee. We just did that. We're going to lift our left knee up and put it on the outer edge of our foot, of our right. Anyway, I'm completely, I'm incomprehensible today. Things have fallen apart, it seems. And so here we go. And so my left knee is bent, my right knee is bending, and my right foot is at my left thigh. I'm going to once again use my backhand to raise my chest up, and I'm extending my arm up. So the movement in the initial stage is up, and then we're rotating from the bottom of the torso and around to the ribs. And then we can catch our knee with our arm and feel that lovely twist. We're moving towards looking at the back of the room. And now we're coming back here. And we'll have a little stretch to the other side. We'll extend our legs out one more time. And we'll turn towards the long edge of our mat. And we will extend our feet out in Dandasana. And we will then extend our arms out behind us and just lift our chest up so that our fingers are facing the back of our mat. And we're just opening our chest here and feeling the opening in our shoulders, feeling the extension in our feet. So this is a lovely back bend here. And now we're going to move into boat pose for a moment, and just lift our one leg up. We've got our knees bent. We're balanced on our bottom, and we are lifting one leg up, and then the other leg, and then both legs, and then down. And we're going to just lift both legs up and just rest here for a moment. This is an excellent core exercise, and it allows us to feel our balance in our body for a moment. And then we can come down. And we're going to move into bridge. All of those forward bends need some oppositional posture. So the bridge is a really good one. We're pressing our feet into the ground. We're tilting our pelvis up, and then we're rotating it down. We're tilting our pelvis up one more time, and then we're rotating it down. And this time we're going to clasp the outer edges of the mat, or we can clasp our hands and move our shoulders underneath our body and lift up our hips, pressing our feet into the ground and our arms into the ground, opening the front body and breathing, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're going to roll down and just rest for a moment. We're going to do this one more time. Inhaling. And we're going to curve our tailbone up, press our feet into the ground, rotate our arms underneath, and feel our knees moving towards the opposite wall and our thighs moving up, our pelvis moving up, our chest moving up. We can lift one knee and then extend the foot out and then bend the knee and place it back down. We can lift another knee and extend the foot out and bend the knee and place it back down. And then move back into the posture, extending our hips up, our thighs up, chest up, breathing into the whole upper chest, lower chest, side body. And then we're going to extend our arms out and roll down. And chest to our knees to our chest. We can put our feet on the ground and just windshield wipe our legs back from side to side. This will. And when we do that, we can press the upper foot into the ground and feel the extension in our hip. And we can do the other side. We can press the upper foot into the ground as we're extending our knees out and Feel the extension of our front hip here. Okay, now we can just lift our hips up and move our knees to one side, or we can hook our upper foot around the lower part of our around the thigh of the other leg, and use that as a bit of a weight. We're resting here, breathing, feeling this lovely twist. And we can move our back arm, a hand around, touching the ground or lifting off the ground if our shoulders are scrunching. And we can move it all the way around our body in a big circle one way, and then we can move it the other way. Or we can just do half the circle, move it towards our hips, and then up and around. And back again. Now we're going to move our feet to the ground, untangle them. Our hips are centered again, and our arms are extended. We can lift our hips up to one side, drop our knees to the opposite side. We can just leave it there if we like, or we can hook our top shin around our bottom thigh, and that offers a little bit more of a deepening of the twist. And we're going to move the arm like the second hand of a clock, moving us here and there. In these postures, it's important to remember that when we're standing in Tadasana, we really are in the here and now. And when we're here on the floor, we really are in the here and now. We're present to ourselves. And we're going to move our hips back to the center. And once again, we can bring our knees into our chest. We can do happy baby. We can wiggle our feet and feel tension dissolve here. And we'll just rest here. This is a Balasana, or a squat upside down when we're doing this, so it's quite a good opening position. And now we'll extend our legs out. Now, if you like, you can put your feet up a wall, or you can put a bolster underneath your thighs. And you can just extend your legs out. I'm just going to be in Shavasana. You can move on to into a fetal position or your stomach. The important thing is to feel that this is a pose that allows you to deepen your relaxation. And our bodies have been twisted and turned, and we have become, I feel I've become a little more integrated as I rest on the ground. I'm going to leave you in silence for a few moments so that you can just extend your Shavasana.
And when you're feeling that you want to move again, you imagine the sensation like the ripples on a lake moving back into your body. The ripples are tickling your fingers and your toes, and they're moving up and down your limbs. You feel it flow over your chest. You feel your eyes open. You can, if you like, move onto your side, and you can sit up or you can stay where you are. I'm returning to Pima Children, When Things Fall Apart, Heart Advice for Difficult Times. The most difficult times for many of us are the ones we give ourselves. Rather than letting our negativity get the better of us, we could acknowledge that right now we feel like a piece of shit and not be squeamish about taking a good look. To be fully alive, fully human, and completely awake is to be continually thrown out of the nest. To live fully is to be always in no man's land, to experience each moment as completely new and fresh. To live is to be willing to die over and over again. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next week.